with
The advice to them is
concepts.
the computers are coming after your job. Understand that. Understand multiple streams of income. Understand to go to start your career further in the future, because if not, you're going to be doing this all the time and looking behind you. Because the world is changing very fast, and artificial intelligence and robotics are replacing surgeons. What choice do many of us have here? So embrace this new future, crypto, stuff like this. There is an opportunity here. But be careful what you do. And I know that sounds a bit ominous, but the last thing you want is to be 38 years old and out of a job and replaced.
Welcome to Dream Richer. Have you ever wondered how fast internet has grown over the past year? From working on typewriters to now having everything at our fingertips, it has all happened too quickly. Today, Raoul Pal compares crypto growth with internet growth. He goes as far as to say that crypto has seen and will continue to see a faster adoption than the internet. This means that early buyers could potentially make millions, if not billions. In the words of Raoul Pal, crypto has seen the fastest adoption in any recorded history. Nasdaq recently called out crypto adoption as a matter of when, not if. The adoption of cryptocurrency is much like the adoption of any other technology. The rate at which adoption occurs grows very gradually until about 8 to 10%, then generally explodes upwards to mass adoption from there. This type of adoption is also phrased as gradually, then sudden. Let's take the internet, for example. It also saw a gradual, then sudden adoption. In 1990, only a handful of governments, universities, businesses, and individuals were using the internet. But in the year 2000, everyone had to have a website. Similarly, smartphones were scarce in 2007 when the iPhone was invented, but by 2011, every person over the age of 12 was carrying around the internet in their pocket. If you like the video, then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it.
But let me explain what's going on in crypto, because that's our focus for today a lot, is the internet between 1990 and 2000 grew at it. That's the fastest period of growth for the internet, because it went from zero or from low numbers to larger numbers. That period, the internet grew at 63% a year. It was the fastest adoption of any technology in all recorded human history, much faster than the mobile phone that came before it and the telephone that came before it. These are network businesses, and I'll come on to that in a bit because it's a really important concept. Okay, how's crypto doing? Crypto's growing at 113% a year. So we're growing at 113% a year. So this is double the fastest adoption of any technology in all recorded history. Okay, that is exponential growth. So we're at about 140 million users as of today of crypto worldwide. If you lower the rate of growth to 83%, to be slightly conservative, you're at 1 billion people by 2024. That's 3 years. And it gets you to about 3.5 billion by about 2027. So basically, you're going to get to half of the world by the end of this decade. So Bitcoin starts the whole process, and then everybody realizes this business model of tokens, network effects, and all of the technological benefits work for almost everything. And that's the rise of NFTs, that's the rise of DeFi, that's the rise of social tokens, that's the rise of so much that's all going on so fast it's hard to keep up with.
As Raoul Pal explains, crypto has 140 million users as of today, but based on its adoption curve, it is expected to be adopted by 1 billion people by 2024. That is almost 1/7 of the whole world. With this in mind, it is safe to say that we're still in early cryptocurrency days. Despite the massive valuations of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a handful of other cryptocurrencies, the data suggests that there is much more room for growth, meaning that we are yet to see even higher valuations of these coins, which is very good news for all those invested in crypto right now. With each passing year, we are seeing new developments come out of the space and capture the minds and pocketbooks of people all over the world. As Raoul Pal argues, by 2027 the adoption of crypto would have engulfed 3 billion people, which is almost 43% of the whole world.
This is like a hypercharged new version of the internet. But if you think about as investors, the internet was something that you had to make the right bet. Was it going to be Oracle? Was it going to be Juniper? Who was the right player? How did you make the money? It wasn't as easy. This is actually pretty easy in many respects because you've got Bitcoin, which is a monetary network. You've got Ethereum, which is basically a platform for all of this. And then you've got a bunch of other things that you can invest in. But the whole space is moving in size because this is global. When you bought, Juniper Networks back in 2000, that was a US firm. Yes, it was global, but you weren't capturing the global value of the internet. You had to go and buy a share in all of the internet firms. Here, one thing fits all, and it is amazing. And I don't know how big this is going to be, but it's a lot bigger than anybody thinks it is. Literally anybody.
And it'll be the biggest thing in the past 100 years and maybe the next 100 years.
And that is happening at the same time as AI goes mainstream exponentially, robotics goes mainstream exponentially, autonomous vehicles, EV technology, genetic sciences, distributed computing power, all of these things, 5G technology, or space Wi-Fi, are all happening at the same time.
I mean, one of the things I'm getting all my students to do is we have a thing called a 10 coin rule. You're not allowed to own more than 10 coins, at least for your first year of investing. That's probably too many because there's so many stories, there's so many rabbit holes, but there's also, it seems like a finite number of potential players. And like you said with Cardano, it's interesting because it's been a long time in the works. It's a long-term plan, but it's a call option on something that could be big. And there's not many places that are putting that much effort into that piece. So I guess it's a kind of watch and to be continued.
Yeah, I mean, there's the other one that came out that it's going to take a while to sort this one out. And I don't know which way it's going to go, but you shouldn't write it off, is Definity or the Internet Computer. So unfortunately, it was backed heavily by VCs early on. The people who were allowed liquidity on launch had made tens of thousands of percent. Even though the adoption is exponential, each token has to go through its adoption curve or failure. And we don't, that takes a bit more time than we think. While we see the whole space doing this, it's really driven by, currently it's really driven by Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi. The other protocols, it's going to take more time.
It's clear from Raoul Pal's explanation that crypto adoption is only going to increase from here. This means that simply being invested in crypto right now puts you at great advantage of making higher returns. What does crypto adoption really mean? Is it only about more people being invested in Bitcoin or other coins? According to Raoul Pal, the answer is no. Crypto and blockchain adoption is a much larger concept. It means the tokenization of everything. According to industry insights, tokenization is potentially the largest use case of blockchain and distributed ledger technology, whose value could exceed $24 trillion by 2027. Business models such as real estate, lending, and acquisitions could all see the effects of tokenization in near future. Do you agree with what he said? Let us know in comments below. To learn more about the latest crypto news, watch these videos here.